Welcome to the LFG Pats Pod with your hosts, Joe and Mike. Let's go!
Let's do it.
All right. Welcome into the LFG Pats Pod. This is episode 40, everybody. And Mike and I, we had some time off. I was in New Hampshire for a little bit, so we're a little late coming out with this episode. But boy, do we got a lot to talk about. Holy shit. I thought we were just going to be talking about the Jets, the big parade we had with them, and then the Dolphins playoff seeding. But we got a segment called The Police Report.
Yeah.
And that is not the segment, Mike, that I really wanted to have in this.
I wasn't looking forward to it. I want to do the same exact things that you said. I want to talk about the ridiculous Jets game where Drake May had like the best game ever statistically of mankind, and how his MVP odds have significantly spiked. But if we did this show on Monday, Joe, we would be able to focus solely on all of that stuff. But with the advent of the new year, people have shit to do. So we had to push it back to later in the week. And now that the news cycle has caught up to us, we have other things to talk about. So we have a bunch of stuff to get into.
We got some stuff, Mike. We got some stuff. Before we get into that stuff, as always, we're going to get into the sponsors. So Horizon HVAC, guys, it is absolutely freezing. I just came home from New Hampshire, and I think it felt like something like -10 or something up there with the wind chill.
Oh, yeah.
I came home. It's, pretty cold. It's pretty frigid. And I just can't imagine with two kids without heat and without, my HVAC system running. So, guys, call Horizon HVAC. These guys are amazing. Let them come out. Let them service your machine. Take about, probably an hour or two of your time. They come whenever you guys are available.
They will service your unit.
They'll service your unit. Even if you are a unit yourself. If you're a tool, if you're a unit. But no, call Horizon HVAC. Mention LFG Pats Pod. You might get a discount. Rogue Island Kitchen and Bar. So I'm actually, Mike, I am attending the first playoff game, but what we could potentially do is have a podcast that week before or after. Maybe if we have a second playoff game, maybe we'll do something then, but we'll talk about it, Mike.
Yeah.
Rogue Island
together.
Yeah. Rogue Island Kitchen and Bar, guys. This place is unbelievable. If you're in the Providence area, guys, head to there's no better food in Providence. I mean, I can't talk enough about it. The chicken and waffles, huevos rancheros. You got all kinds of short rib sandwiches. I mean, you name it. It's unbelievable. A lot of beers on tap. A lot of homemade brews, homemade drinks. Check it out, Rogue Island Kitchen and Bar. It's in the Arcade in Providence. It's the oldest mall in the entire country. Very cool, very scenic area, very eclectic. So yeah, Rogue Island Kitchen and Bar.
Artisan crafted food,
everything,
and beverages.
Everything, and it's all locally sourced. That's one of the best parts. It's
Absolutely.
All stuff from Rhode Island, from the New England area. Very good seafood, very good everything. So, all right. So we're gonna start out, and the agenda is we're gonna talk about the Jets game. We'll touch on Drake May and his MVP run he's going on. We got the police report where I was trying to find a fun Super Troopers clip to play, but regardless, we have so much to talk about there. And then if we have time and if we feel like it, we'll talk about the Dolphins and Quinn Ewers, because who doesn't want to talk Quinn Ewers and Devon Achane, I guess, is like the star of that whole team at this point.
I mean, it's an afterthought. It really is, based on all the things you just said that we have to talk about. But the Dolphins have kind of been on a little bit of a roll lately. So
it's crazy. You make some changes on offense. And
I'm not completely ruling them out, but I have no.
It's not the Jets. They're not the Jets, right? They're not the Jets.
I have no faith in Quinn Ewers in any way whatsoever at all. But the defense is pretty solid, and Achane is a friggin' beast. So if we don't show up, then we could lose the game. It's going to come down to, are we resting guys? Are we sitting people down? Are we playing everybody? I expect everybody that's healthy is going to play. Right. So we'll see about all that. But honestly, unfortunately, that's the least of our concerns for this particular episode right here, right now. because we wanted, like Joe said, we wanted to talk about the Jets game. And I got caught up in some other stuff, so I wasn't able to see it. By the time I got home and logged in and turned the TV on, it was 14-0. I was like, okay, here we go. All right. And then it just continued to pile on from there. And then I went and watched the first 2 drives after the fact and whatnot. And it was like, okay, this kid is in the MVP conversation for a reason. He leads, he's over Stafford in every statistical category except for touchdown passes. That's it.
And yards, right?
Oh, is it? It is yards too. Yeah. No. Wait a minute. Hang on. I thought Drake had like 4,600 and Stafford had like 4,200 at this point right now. If you could look that up, because I think Drake is leading him in yards right now. He's not leading him in touchdowns. Stafford has 40 touchdowns. I know that for sure.
No, I think it's 44, 48, and 4203. So he's not. He's not leading.
200 yards behind him. Yeah, but in the EPA.
EPA for sure, average, average passing yards for sure. Yards per game, obviously not if he's leading in yards. And then touchdowns, but every other metric, QBR, completion percentage. I actually saw another stat. I forget who posted it, but it was we've played by EPA, we've played 10 top 5 defenses, and Matt Stafford's only played 6. So
I also saw it, right? Where we had like 6 common opponents, and Drake's EPA was over Stafford's EPA in those 6 common opponents. So by every metric except some of the most obvious ones, like you just said, the yards and the touchdowns and whatnot, the kid should be the MVP. So
you got to count his rushing ability too, because Matt Stafford has 0 rushing.
Well, Drake's got 4 touchdowns. How many does Matt Stafford have?
0 rushing? And like negative yards rushing. Like it's like almost a fall of his. But I mean, obviously, when you throw in 40 touchdowns, it doesn't matter as much. But what about the 400 yards rushing, and what about the 4 rushing touchdowns as well? So
Joe, the question I have to ask you, though, I hate to interrupt you, but the question I have to ask you is, if Drake May wins the MVP at age 23, do the expectation, regardless of what happens this season, is it a success, a resounding success? Or
the season is a resounding success.
Even if they lose in the first round, it'll still be a success.
Oh, 100%. It already is.
Because we're playing with house money. We're over what our
it 100% is right now. You know what was funny? Actually, Fitzy put up, friend of the pod, Fitzy put up, if Drake May gets MVP at age 23, what are the odds that he's in the Hall of Fame? And it's pretty good, right? Just thinking about that, like. Just think of like I'm just thinking of like Andrew Luck would be like the exception, right? Where he was like on an astronomical,
second year MVPs. I can call Mahomes. I can call Lamar Jackson. I can call Dan Marino. I can call Walter Payton, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
You're talking about all-time dudes, and
you need to be completely derailed for you not to be at that point.
And all those dudes were like 23 going on 24. This kid's still fully 23 in this season right here. He might be one of the youngest ones to ever do it. So is that going to be enough to satisfy us for this season? Because I personally, Joe, I'm really lamenting the fact I'm like despondent over the fact that the regular season is over. I can't believe I can't believe that it happened so fast. It went like a friggin' shot, and all of a sudden here we are at 13-3, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this could end at any given time now after next week. So we're on pins and needles waiting to see what our opponent's going to be, what's going to happen. But Joe, like I know we had like lofty expectations, but are these really? Did we really think that they were going to be in this spot at this time when we talked about doing this podcast when we first started?
Yeah, no, we talked about quite a bit about you and I extensively went over the schedule, especially when we knew like, okay, this is what they're traveling. We're looking at the travel distance. We're looking at like, how are we going to get screwed here? And I think you and I were looking at like, man, these are tough to pick, like where the losses are going to be. And not to say that we're going to win every game, but we were also like, all right, I mean, these teams are all very beatable with these quarterbacks.
We both identified at the very beginning of the season that it was going to be an easy schedule, and it proved to be that. But you still have to beat teams, Joe, right?
Exactly. Well, and then there's the other storylines that you don't know about, right? Like, Lamar Jackson getting hurt. You got Baker Mayfield seemingly kind of imploding, right? Mid-season. By the time by the time we played them, Baker Mayfield and obviously the receiving core was a shell of itself. So, these other kind of storylines, I mean, this aligns to kind of what we talked about before the season, right? We talked about this season being so weird, how everything, the stars were aligning. It was like astrological type shit, right? Where it's like this offseason with, the obviously starts with getting Vrabel, Cowden, Doug Marrone, right? And both of us were saying, like, all right, if we can get some players in here to marginally improve our offensive line, check. If we can get some receivers that can separate a little bit and catch the football consistently, check. If we can get some guys who can be explosive on offense and make some plays, check. And now, and we have the rookie guys, right? We have Trevion, we have Kyle Williams, even Efton Chisholm's getting in on it. So all these things are breaking right. And yeah, we've had some injuries, but we've also weathered through those injuries too, through tough games. So it's like, it's this season, to me, obviously our I think our expectations have gotten higher and higher, right? Absolutely. But I think we have to also level set ourselves and say, you know what? I picked 11 wins. I think you picked 10 wins. This is well beyond. This is all gravy, man. This is
Oh
amazing.
Man, I only picked 10. Jeez, I was really.
I think you did. I think I was one above you. I think I did 11. You did 10, and everyone was like, right. "Whoa, you guys are nuts, you homers."
Yeah, I called you having rose-colored glasses and all, even though it was only a one win difference.
I think I wanted to do more. I think that was me feeling like I was being realistic. But I mean, this is how it goes, right? It's the NFL. It's tough to win games. Drake May said it himself. He goes, look at these teams. He goes, they're all NFL teams. We're not playing Foxborough High. Did you see the guy from Foxborough High? He did a little video on X, and he said, "Hey, we're here to play." It's like it was like snowing out. He's at Foxborough High. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, please, Drake May retweet this. But yeah, Mike. What else did you see in this the Jets game? I think there was a lot of good takeaways before we get into the police report. What else did you see in this Jets game?
Just utter, complete, sheer dominance all across the board. Like, you can talk about strength of schedule. You can talk about these teams aren't that good, and you've had to struggle to beat these teams. But I look at it in totality as the Broncos versus the Patriots. The Broncos, they won like 5 games by a combined aggregate of like 12 points. Yep. And we've won comfortably several times. And when you get to this late in the season and you are like one of the better teams in the league, then you're supposed to step on the lesser team's neck. Okay, so it validates the fact. If we won 14-13, I'd be saying something a lot different. But this game was not a contest in any way whatsoever. It was 2 different quality of team playing. Like, you had professional guys, and then you had like friggin' NFL Europe guys, if you can remember back when NFL Europe was there.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what good teams are supposed to do, and it shows you the swag that this team has right now. They're very confident in themselves, so I enjoy all of that stuff. We're gonna talk about it in a minute, but I lament the fact that it takes the shine off a little bit about the recent developments in this past week. And I know Buffalo Bill fans are just like reveling.
They're loving it, dude.
Enjoying it so much. But they have to hang on to something, bro. Let me tell you, Buffalo Bills fans, something, all right? You want something? You ain't got shit, all right? You're never going to the goddamn Super Bowl, okay? Josh Allen's banged up. You got no talent around the man. You're asking him to do everything, and you're still mad at us. What are you mad at us for? Be mad at Sean McDermott for crying out loud. Be mad at Brandon Beane.
Talk shit to your GM. Talk shit to your piece of shit GM who can't put people around an all-star.
He's got no receivers for this
MVP
guy. Their
quarterback.
line sucks. Like, give me a break with that shit. Like, it's our fault that you guys stumbled this year. Get the hell out of here. You're so friggin' shell-shocked. All right, those of you that are old enough, for Joe and me, if you're our age or an aggregate or a median of that age, then you know how much the Patriots have dominated the Bills for 20 some odd years. And now you guys are like, this past 5 years, I've heard it from all of you this past 5 years. Well, what's next? So whatever, it's our time to shine now. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting for Tom Brady to retire. And guess what? They had their 5 years of dominance. And guess what?
Talk about stars aligning, Mike. This should have been the Bills' year. This should have been the Bills' year. And I don't think they got it. I don't think they, like you said, I don't think they're making the Super Bowl. Even if they come into Foxborough and beat us, good luck getting through the Texans. Good luck getting through the Jaguars even.
We've seen them lose to bad teams this year, man. I've seen them lose to bad teams in bad ways. The guy can't do it all by himself, and he's banged up. Bill fans, you're normally good-natured, but you have a very special place of hatred in your hearts for the Patriots. So
and he couldn't close out the last game. He couldn't close out that game with a wide-open receiver in the back of the end zone. So, So getting back to this Jets game. Obviously, Stephon Diggs had a monstrous game.
Yeah, I went on a tangent with that Bill thing. I had to get that out of my system.
That's fine. No, I like it. We're going to get a clip out of that. I like that. Ramondre Stevenson had a great game. Unbelievable game. Caught a lot of balls out of the backfield. Made some big plays unexpectedly out of the backfield.
That one play, his touchdown catch, my brother-in-law, Ryan, who you know Ryan, he sent me a clip of how Drake May set the protection on that specific play. He set it over to the right, and they all had to shift over to the right to make sure that the defensive end was the guy that was covering the running back.
Beautiful.
He shifted everybody over, and the defense got completely fooled. So all he did was wait for Ramondre to run behind the defensive end. He's a defensive end.
6'5", 300 pounds or whatever that guy, 270 or whatever the hell that guy is.
That play is the epitome of Drake May's season right now. That specific play. We weren't in the right protection. He got us into that protection in order to get Mondre. He saw the thing. He saw the movement. He knew which guy was going to be a hat on a hat. And he went and you just waited for the guy to outrun the other guy. And when you have the physical capabilities, I'm sorry, my computer, I'm just going nuts right now. The God-given abilities of Drake May, along with now what we see is the cerebral portion of the football game. He sees everything. Pre-snap, he's doing it. Post-snap, he's making his reads right away. He's looking at his number one read right away. He makes his decision in 1 second whether he's going to go to that guy or not. And when he makes that decision, it doesn't mean he's going to throw it in 1 second. He just knows that guy's going to eventually uncover, which is why you see a bunch of deep balls down the field. He can see the way the defense is setting up, how they shift post-snap. And Drake, the fact that he has so much physical capability is one thing, but now that he's putting it together, Josh McDaniels has taught him the way, and he's the MVP. I don't see any reason why he's not the MVP, and he's going to be our quarterback for the next 10 plus years. They're going to do everything they can to keep this guy in the fold. He's going to be the highest paid guy. Pay the man, all right? I'm saying it right now. I don't even care if he has half the season he had this year. You know what he's capable of. Pay the man. So we have what we need. Now we just need to our draft. We nailed our draft this year. What do you think is going to happen next year? And what do you think is going to happen in free agency? Seeing what's being built in this building right here, you think guys are going to want to come here and be a part of this?
100%. Max Crosby. You're telling me Max Crosby, who posted videos of himself in a
number one.
Court?
That's the number one acquisition to me. That guy has us written all over him.
Max Crosby.
Go get Max Crosby.
Boatload of money. pay him a boatload of fucking money,
Give
and
it to
just
him.
get it done. Get it done.
I agree with
We
you.
have
I
him
agree.
and Barmore and Milton Williams and Tonga and all these guys.
Harold Landry
luck.
and Chase Song's
Good.
coming on, these guys.
Good
But if
luck.
you get a guy like Max Williams, forget about it, We
Yeah,
do need
Max
help on
Crosby's
the
an
edge. He'd be a perfect fit for this team. He's a team first kind of guy. You saw how pissed off he was when he got shut down. He's like, I know we're the worst team in the league, but I want to play. I'm a football player. I play football. I get paid to play it. I want to pay the thing that I get. I want to play the thing that I get
And just
paid
think
for.
about it. You're the Browns or you're the Raiders, right? You're these guys with these like marquee talents. These guys are marquee edge talents, the most important position on the field outside of quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. It's the most important position because guess what? If you don't have a pass rush, that puts so much more pressure on your corners. But if you have an elite pass rush, your corners kind of don't matter as much. You can make a lot work with those corners with different coverages and confusing people. I mean, Brian Flores has done it with the Vikings for years. Granted, they do have some good corners, but they also have amazing pass. Look at the Falcons.
Look at the Browns. The Browns.
Exactly, the Browns.
People have to double and triple team him, and that creates opportunities for other people,
I'm with you. So, I think you add that to this game, to this team, and holy shit, we're going to be on a whole different level. And then you, like you said, then you draft some linemen, you draft some more defensive, you draft some linebackers. You want to
based
draft
on this year, I have full confidence in next year's draft. I do. I have I can't wait for us to get into it, but I don't want to like forward.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I don't want to forward pedal too much into that because we still have it. We're still in the middle of a season, but the point of the whole conversation is we're set up now, and we're set up to be better, even better in the future.
Exactly.
So Bills take that stuff and go boom. The Jets, you guys got nothing. The Dolphins, you guys are in disarray. We're back on top, baby. We're back on top, and it's going to stay that way.
We're in the driver's seat, and we're about to push the Bills to the back seat. The only other thing I want to talk about really with this Jets game is Breece Hall. So Breece Hall,
he had one good run. He had a good run.
He did have a good run, 59-yard run. He averaged 7.9 yards per carry. He had 111 yards on the ground with 18 yards in the air. So call it $130. That does scare me a little bit, but I also know that Milton Williams plus Barmore equals that shit doesn't happen, right? So for me, that's not really a big concern. Outside of that, I mean, Brady Cook just showed he does not belong in the NFL, period. I mean, he's just he's not an NFL quarterback.
Dude, he was a deer in headlights that whole entire game, man. And it's very easy. They were blitzing him a lot because it's very easy to do that with an inexperienced quarterback because they're going to focus on the rush and they're not going to keep their eyes downfield. And that's another thing you can say about Drake May. He feels the rush around him, but he doesn't look at it. He looks downfield. And a poor undrafted free agent rookie, that kid, he stood no chance. Even though our pass rush is not that good, and it might be exposed in the playoffs here, but he had no chance against us in any way whatsoever. And I don't know how Quinn Ewers is going to have a chance against us. Is that him? Quinn Ewers?
Yeah. I actually liked him come out of school. I mean, I looked at him and said, is he a guy that can start now? No. But is he a guy who has the tools? Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I think he was on the cover of college football last year or the year before or something like that. So
I think he's got the tools, but is he a guy now? I think everyone knows no. That's why he slid down. I actually kind of wanted him as like a backup just because, Josh Dobbs is not it. But we don't really care. We don't need that, obviously, at this point. But, it was always a thing with Brady, right? We had Brady, and then we would draft somebody, and then we would trade that person, right? Like a Matt Castle or somebody, right? You get a little more value out of your draft picks that way. If you don't have someone to take.
That's just Belichick being a dick, dude. He tried to, because we've talked about it since about 2014. That's how long, and even longer. We've been talking about this for even longer than that. But I remember in 2014, they drafted Jimmy G, and Tom started 1 and 2. And you and I are both like, just put Jimmy G in. Yeah, he couldn't be any worse. And then they went on some kind of historic run. But it's just an example of Belichick always being a super duper dick to Brady, and always trying
Exactly.
to push him. Like the kid wasn't driven enough. You have to drive him even further down that rabbit hole, which he's going to conquer, which he eventually did many, many times. But what I don't see that happening with this team because of, especially because of the Joe Milton thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah. They got rid of that problem. That problem's gone. They don't want to create another problem.
So I love a developmental quarterback. I really do. But I also like the veteran backup too, because he can maybe tell the kid some stuff that he hasn't seen before.
Yeah, you get something with that, right? You get development. It's like it's like you already have the answer. So why would you want to get somebody else who could be somebody else's answer when you could, like you said, you could get somebody who can like help now and develop your young quarterback now. So yeah, I agree.
Personally, you should have a starting quarterback, a veteran backup, and then a third developmental guy just in case, But right now, I guess that guy is Tommy DeVito.
Tommy Cutlets, baby.
That
All
guy.
Right, so Mike,
he's a funny guy. That guy.
So we talked about the Jets, and I'm rubbing my head now because I'm just like aggravated just thinking about it. I spent the whole.
You're trying to get into it, trying to gear yourself up.
My wife's like, "What's happening?" We're in New Hampshire. We rented the presidential suite at a really nice hotel, and she's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, just a bunch of random Patriots garbage that I didn't want to deal with." But anyway, so we're into the police report segment, guys. And obviously, at the point, yeah, I know, the shittiest segment. Everyone's heard about this at this point, right? So we get the Diggs drama. He, had a female chef that was living at his house. He was paying her through wire transfers on a monthly basis or something to that effect. She was living there. He was a little behind paying her. Got into a little bit of an altercation. Did he choke her? The police report says he kind of like gave her like a behind the back choke. She said, she didn't have any pictures, blah, blah, blah. Text messages with them going back and forth where basically she's like holding it over his head saying, if you don't pay me, I'm going to, press charges. She didn't want to press charges. The state ends up pressing charges. So now Diggs is like, basically, fuck it, come after me. To me, Mike, it feels like a money grab. Obviously, I think that's what a lot of people are thinking with this one. But then on the other side of it, obviously, Diggs is kind of, he's reared his head as kind of a little bit of a sociopath at times. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Give me your thoughts on it.
It really depends because, if you look at like the text chain that we saw, which is uncorroborated, by the way. I don't know if that's the actual.
That was in the report.
Oh, well, okay. So it is corroborated. Yeah. So he comes off like a massive douchebag. Don't get me wrong, but you have to look at the optics of all of this. This happened, December 2nd or something like that?
Yep.
And it just came out 2 days ago. So you can say that, she was afraid to come forth, which is, that's a valid thing. You can say that she told the truth, which may or may not be true. But when it comes to stuff like this, like to what you alluded to about a money grab, I think she decided to go scorched earth on the guy. That's what it looks like because she was so pissed off that he was acting like a dick. And don't get me wrong, I want to preface all of this by saying that if Stephon Diggs acted like a normal person, none of this would have happened. Like, I just pay the fucking lady. Like, just pay her. I don't care.
First of all, you have a female chef sleeping in your house. Weird. First of all, first thing that's fucking weird. Second thing, you're paying her. You're not paying her weekly or paying her like monthly or something through a wire transfer. What is this?
What are we in the 1800s?
What's going on right now?
Just
like,
Venmo
the whole thing is weird.
The whole thing is weird. Every week, like you have to be like, what is the problem with that? You have more than enough money to pay this chef. You obviously had some kind of personal problem, but it goes back to why do these dudes have to decide to have personal problems with people in their personal lives, not their professional? Why can't you just rise above and be better than that? Whether it's true, good, bad, or indifferent, it's still a bad look for Steph Diggs, okay? Because he obviously he mistreated this girl in some way, whether it be
some way, right? 100%.
Yeah, professionally, monetarily, or maybe even physically, which I'm not willing to actually concede that right now, because based on the reports and based on the timing of her report, to me it seems contrived, that she contrived the story in order to go scorched earth on this guy. Like, hey, he's not going to pay me, then fuck him. I'm going to fuck him, especially he's a high profile guy and he's got a good season going on. People think about that stuff. They're like, I'm gonna fuck this guy's season up because he fucked me. I'm gonna fuck him. You
have a lawyer in your ear telling you this stuff. Like, hey, look, this guy's doing really well right now. Do you think he wants this? They coach that stuff up too.
Absolutely. If she consulted a lawyer, but who knows if she actually did or not? Did she have a personal attorney with any of this stuff?
It's all he said, she said. It's all opinion. It's all this and that. But what the facts that I've seen, Mike, it looks to be that, yes, there's probably some fire to this smoke. But when it comes down to it, he's going to pay her. And then if there's no her pressing charges and being a witness, because once you pay, you're going to have to sign something. And I like it. This is a pot about football or football players. I don't give a fuck about any of this. All I know is the Broncos are getting that 1 seed and will beat the brakes off the Pats. I love it. Yes,
get going. Keep moving, dude. Move along. Keep moving.
No. Stay here.
No, this ain't for you, bro. This ain't for you.
I like it. Keep the Broncos fan here.
We talk about everything Patriots. We're talking about Patriots players and Patriots.
Okay. It's okay. We like it.
You talk about the players on the team. What do? You don't talk about the players on. Okay,
I'll talk about Mike. Don't get goated. Don't get goated by this.
I'll talk about the 53. We have 53 men, and they're all fantastic. And that's what I'm gonna say. Go Pats, and let's go and let's do it. Who the frick? Who are you, dude? Of course we're gonna talk. Of course, we're going to talk about the players, man. The players make up the team, and it's what's going on in our news cycle right now. So that's what we have to talk about. We have no issue. We have no other recourse than to address it right here. We have to address it. If we don't address it, we come off as disingenuous. I can't sit here and talk about how great the Jets game was this whole friggin' hour with glossing over all these other things that are going on with our team. So we talk about the totality of the team, the players, the coaches, everything surrounding all that.
While we have the Broncos guy, though, why don't we talk about Bo Nix? Why don't we talk about fraudulent Bo Nix?
Yeah, Bo Nix can get something, all right? I got something for Bo Nix right here, okay? Bo Nix.
Anthony, do you believe that Bo Nix is a better football player than Drake May? I want to see how much drugs that you're on. So we'll get back to that. If you're still there and you heard that, I want you to comment. Yeah, Second thing we want to get into, though, because Diggs is going to pay this girl off and this is going to go away. That's story one. Story two, Barmore, right? Barmore, ex-girlfriend. This incident happened in August. Apparently, he was upset about the thermostat and the thermostat going up and down, blah, blah, blah.
I saw that.
It is. The thermostat went up and down. She was cooking. It was right after the Raiders lost. It was 2 days after the Raiders lost that this happened. So
that's trifling bullshit, though. He needs to be better than that, man.
I'm with you on that. But regardless, hold on. Let's see what this person says. I have a player you could talk about. MVP Drake May. Let's fucking go. I like that, Jalen. I like that. Definitely.
That's my son. He's upstairs right now.
I've never heard of Bo Nix in the MVP conversation. If anyone's heard of that, let me know. Get back to me. But anyways, Christian Barmore. Obviously, he has done something. There's something there. Again, I don't know. I know Christian Barmore. We've talked about this before, Mike. I know he's had a past a little bit with the Boston police.
And the Providence police, right in our neighborhood. Right here.
So he's definitely got a little bit of a past here. Again, this girl was also reportedly pregnant with Barmore's child. That's also in the police report. And I don't know. She was scared to tell him. She wanted to have it. I don't know if it was fixed or taken care of. Again, this is all fucking drama to me. Long story short, his case is not until like right before the Super Bowl, right? So if we're dealing with this, then we're in the fucking Super Bowl. I mean,
exactly.
At the end of the day, who gives a shit? Unless they put him on the exempt list, to me, this has to play through legal process. The legal process has to play out.
From what I understand is they can't. The NFL, or not they can't, they can do anything they want. They operate independently of the law. They are their own law. So they could put these guys on exempt right now if they want to, but they've already seen so many examples of this, and it turns into nothing. Quinshawn Judkins, that poor kid, he lost his first beginning of his first training camp because of nothing. Jabril Peppers, we lost him last season for 8 games because of nothing. So the league has seen this enough times where they're going to let the due process play out. But the thing I will say is that once there is an arraignment, if there's an arraignment, that means that there's going to be charges levied and a fine and or bail imposed upon that person. So what you said about Diggs is 2 days before the AFC Championship game, and Barmore's is 2 days before the Super Bowl. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself or anything like that, but just for the nature of the well-being of the team, you would hope that the Diggs thing gets resolved and the Barmore thing gets pushed down the road a little bit and eventually get resolved. And these guys also have to understand that if they do get convicted, then their guarantees on their contracts is null and void. So they're probably both going to get let go. I don't see that happening, especially because the nature of the thing, the Diggs thing is by all reports, it's been said that they're trying to come to a monetary agreement, and the Barmore thing happened in August. So if the NFL really cared about it, it would have been acted upon beside now. So the fact that the arraignment's not till February, the NFL will not act on that. There's nothing to act on. The thing happened in August. They know about it. The arraignment's in February. Christian Barmore is not going to get suspended. Now, Stephon Diggs is a different story. I hope that he gets it resolved monetarily before the AFC Championship game. But again, I don't want to say that we're actually going to be in it or not be in it, but you would like to see a quicker resolution to it just for the well-being of us as fans, really. The players, they know how to knock out noise, man. They block it out. So and that's what Vrabel's saying. Like, Vrabel caught a lot of shit for saying, no, I'm not disappointed at all. I'm not disappointed in any of these guys. And people are like, why aren't you disappointed in them? And I'm like, well, because Vrabel knows the facts. Okay. That's why he's not disappointed. If he knew the facts and these guys would both be guilty, do you think Mike Vrabel would say that if he knew for a fact that both these guys were guilty? Do you say he would say he wasn't disappointed at all? The fact that he says he wasn't.
I'm with you, Mike. 100%. I'm with you. I think
and
what it comes down to is
we support Stephon in their statement.
Right. He either knows the facts, one, whether it's he's seen things or maybe who knows, or he's taken the stance of we're gonna wait until it plays out. We're gonna wait till this plays out like everybody else, and until it does,
I think it's both.
Yeah, it could be both. It could very easily be both. So yeah, here's what I think, and this is what happened with Pink Tussie and all this stuff, the boat stuff, right? Everyone want to jump to cut him, or are the Patriots going to cut him? Are they going to do this? And when it comes down to it, guys, you have to wait for this stuff to play out. Bri Talks Pats, we were going back and forth on one of the chats. I think it was the Pats Planet chat. Shout out Scotty B. But no, I think when it comes down to, we do have to wait. We can pontificate and opinionate, and we can talk about what we think and how we feel, and are we let down, and But at the end of the day, when and if nothing happens, we can go, oh well, we guess we didn't worry about anything. Or when and if something does happen and they get suspended or go to jail, or it could be anything, right? Then we can, I think at that point we can say, oh man, what a letdown. I can't believe it. This guy had so much going for him, a la, this is totally different, but Aaron Hernandez, a la anybody else who gets into, look at Henry Ruggs, any of these guys who would just, blow up their career for.
Did you see that Henry Ruggs, just as an aside, he got moved from minimum security to medium security?
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I saw that.
That means he's acting. That means he's acting up in jail.
Yeah, no, there was something. I thought there was some more to it than that. Oh, Anthony's back. Let's go. Bo Nix is better than May. Not. May has had a great year. I'll give that to him, though. But let's talk about overall team. You don't want to come to Mile High. It's going to be another 2015 Brady game. I think Mile High is definitely, I'd obviously rather play the Broncos at home for sure. Obviously that won't happen if we play them, I don't think, because the Chargers aren't gonna win without Herbert. But let's talk about the teams, right? So you guys
I'm more afraid of the Texans than the Broncos.
Yes, 100%.
I will shout it from the rooftop.
100%.
I'm more afraid of the Texans. I'm not afraid of the Broncos, and I'm not afraid to go in there, man, because everything that everybody said about us this year also applies to the Broncos. We haven't done anything according to people. What have they done? They've eked out a bunch of wins, and this guy's a game manager. He's not a downfield passer like Drake May is. I'll go into Denver. I don't care.
I agree. I'm with you. 100% agree. When it comes to the Broncos, I mean, you guys have squeaked out more games than the Chiefs did the year they went 15-1, or I forget what they go 15-2. I forget what they went.
They were winning by 2, 3, 4, 2, 3.
You guys are borderline fraudulent. Let's just call it what it is. The whole team is borderline fraudulent, and Sean Payton and that defense is the only thing keeping you guys in games. Nick Benito needs to get paid a shit ton of money because he's an absolute stud. He's an absolute monster off the edge. Surtain I feel like he's been exposed a bunch of times. I feel like he's obviously still in the top 5, top 10 corners, but he's kind of having a down year to an extent. That team's beatable. You guys have shown that all year long. Let's be honest. I mean, if we're being honest, if you're here, let's be honest. And Drake May is having a phenomenal year and way better than Bo Nix. Every game he shows why he's the MVP.
It just
Bo Nix, not so much.
It doesn't compute. They have like almost an identical record, but look at the numbers between the two quarterbacks.
Yeah, no, I'm not even going to bother looking it up.
How do you quantify? How do you back up the fact that Bo Nix is better than Drake May? How do you say that? Because he has won games.
He's going to say last year. He's going to say rookie year. He's going to add up the stats. I mean, that's the only thing you can do with Bo Nix at this point. You can add up year 1 and year 2 and say that's better than May.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, I'm with you on that. But
his starting 2 years, he's broken a lot of records as far as 100%. Wins at his age and all that stuff. I don't know about margin of victory, but the wins and the passing yards and the touchdowns and all that stuff.
Touchdowns, passing yards. Yep, he's up there with a lot of.
Yeah, he's in elite company because he's started every game these past 2 seasons. Drake didn't have that.
And you had Sean Payton. You had the best, if not one of the best, offensive lines in the entire league the past 2 years.
Yep.
You have Cortland's. You have Pro Bowl level.
Yeah, but Joe, Cortland Sutton didn't really produce all that much. I know that that. No,
you're right.
You had him on your team.
Oh, I know. Trust me, and I traded him. I actually traded him and Bo Nix. But anyways, you have an amazing defense. You had a whole ecosystem of people around Sean Payton, right? And we know the importance of that because year 1 Drake May had no ecosystem. It was like, drive by the seat of your pants coaching.
There was one thing there. There was Alex Van Pelt who helped fix Drake May's footwork. And I give Alex Van Pelt all the credit in the world for that. And that's the only credit I'll give to that team last year. Aside from Jerry Springer, he was a good special teams coach, but they retained him. But Drake May had nothing. He had nothing last year. And the Broncos were already a ready-made team when Bo Nix came into it.
Yeah, I agree. But Anthony, I appreciate your comments. I'll always go back and forth. Hey, man, if we're playing, a win is a win. Don't matter if, here we go. He's coming back. A win is a win. Don't matter if you win by 50 or 1. I'm with you. Look, both Bo Nix and May have a lot still to prove. So far, Nix has got to better start to his career. You can't argue with that. I'll agree that he had a good year 1, which is very hard to do for a rookie quarterback. He did have a great year statistically. This year, he's been up and down, kind of shaky, right? In the beginning of the season, he didn't look great. And Drake May has just ascended from week 1 to now. He is, I'm telling you, light years different from a quarterback, from progression, from progression, from looking, progressing through his reads. Athletically, he's he only runs. He's like more of a Justin Herbert, where he's not like Josh Allen, where he's going to run, or Lamar Jackson, where he's going to run first. He runs when he needs to.
And I love that.
And he keeps his eyes downfield. He keeps his eyes downfield more than I've ever seen any Josh McDaniels-led quarterback ever. And that's
so So let me ask you this then. So why is Drake May at this particular point right now the overwhelming favorite to win the MVP, and Bo Nix's odds are at like plus 2,500? Can you tell me that? Does Vegas lie? Can you add some insight to that at all in any way whatsoever? Vegas don't lie, baby. I mean, they might be off a little bit every now and again, but Vegas generally doesn't lie, do they?
They don't. No, they're on it. They're definitely on it. So let's talk a little bit about the Dolphins, right?
Oh, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that.
Hold on, Jalen's coming up. Bo Nix had a great start to his career. Too bad he was already older as a rookie than May will be after the full 2026 season. Ouch.
He's right. Bo Nix is 25 years old, I think. Going on,
he's
26.
25. Going on, he'll be right after the Super Bowl, February 25th. He'll be 26.
Shout out Jalen. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Great call. So younger and already better.
Jalen, we would have had you on, but we got bailed. We got stiffed by our guest at the last minute. So next time we'll have you on, buddy.
We love you, ZeeBee, but come on, man, get back to us. Yeah, anyways, I know shit happens, like life happens. Indeed. So absolutely facts. I like it. Facts. All right, so let's just quickly get into these Dolphins, Mike. So obviously we got Achane, who's the star of the team right now, right? You got Quinn Ewers, you got Jalen Waddle, you got some other players. Is Jalen Waddle even playing? Is he on IR? I don't even know if Jalen Waddle's even playing anymore.
I'm not sure. I didn't see anything about that. I don't pay too much attention to the Dolphins. I got to be
limited return to pro. Okay, so he's gonna play probably.
The only thing I know is that Quinn Ewers is the quarterback, and that if we don't lock up Achane, then we're gonna be in big trouble because Achane is an elite running back. He's the number 2 running back behind Jahmyr Gibbs in the league right now. So it's very, very simple. It's 8-man in the box. That's all you got to do. 8-man, you got cat coverage on the 2 corners and get Jalen Hawkins back there playing single high. You're not going to have any problems.
Force them to beat you. You got to force Quinn Ewers to throw for 300 yards, which he is absolutely not going to do against us. And then on the defensive side of the ball, there's nothing to be worried about outside of what Bradley Chubb.
Yeah,
Bradley Chubb and there was another Chop Robinson.
Oh yeah.
They traded Jalen Phillips, right? Did they trade Jalen Phillips?
They did for the Eagles. Yeah, he's been playing well too.
Yeah. So Jalen Phillips is out.
No, they got Minkah Fitzpatrick. It's
they got Minkah Fitzpatrick on the back end, but that doesn't really scare me as much.
No, there's nothing going on over there.
They got a little bit of a pass rush. Let's just say that. Yeah. But we've been very good at, and obviously Drake May is very good under pressure. So. Again, there's not enough there on that team to really scare me. They're obviously going to show better than the Jets. That goes without saying. They're going to show better than the Jets.
You'd hope so.
I don't think Milton Williams will be playing that much if he's playing at all.
I'd sit him down, but I would play Will Campbell to get him a little bit.
Yeah, but I think you'll see Milton Williams in for a handful of snaps just to kind of knock the rust off a little bit. Yeah. But I don't see a lot there. But like you said, you just at the end of the day, you just stack the box and dare him to beat you deep. And that's just what it comes down to against that team. And then on the offensive side of the ball, for us, I mean, do whatever you want against this team. I honestly don't feel like there's much to really concern yourself with outside of protection against Bradley Chubb, Chop Robinson. But we've proven with much tougher matchups that we can scheme around that. I would like to see Trevion get a little more involved. But at the end of the day, Ramondre is getting it done. It really doesn't matter to me. It's pick your poison.
I can't wait to make this guy eat his words. This guy, when has age mattered at the QB position? This is why age matters, because we have a longer amount of time to keep the man. That's why age matters. He's 23. So we can have him for the next 10 to 15 years. Bo Nix has 10 years. All right.
Love it. I love every second of it.
Bo Nix is going to retire before Drake May. 100% guaranteed unless Drake May has a career-ending injury. It makes no sense. Of course, it friggin' matters. Would you be happier with this? Or I have a rookie 26-year-old quarterback or a rookie 23-year-old quarterback. They both have identical stats. Which one would you take? I mean, get the hell out of it. Like, what are you even talking about?
Well, he was 24. He was in his rookie year. He was 24.
Good for him. Great for him. Drake May just turned 23, so I don't want to hear about it. He's still.
Oh no, wait. He was no. He was 25. Sorry, he was 25.
I knew it.
He's going to be 26 in February 25th. So yeah,
I knew it. But homers are going to be homers. Broncos fans are bad, man. This randomly popped up on this guy's stuff, and now he's just friggin' just spamming us with all this nonsense.
Oh, we just seen Phillip Rivers come back at 44. Oh shit, here we go.
That doesn't matter. Would you rather have a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers or a 23-year-old MVP? What are we talking? Wow. Where are we? We are set up for the future. The Broncos,
that makes me happy.
The Broncos are also set up for the future. I'm not disparaging or discrediting that in any way. Bo Nix is going to be a good quarterback in this league for a long time. Sean Payton is a fantastic coach. They have a good team. I'm not discrediting any of that. But if you ask me if I choose, I take Drake May 100% of the time. That's all. It's not like big rocket science or nothing like that.
There's nobody. There's no analyst. There's no coach. There's no GM. There's no fan that with a gun to their head and they say, you have to pick one quarterback for the rest of their career to take right now. There's probably no other player in the league that I'm taking over Drake May right now.
He said player. He didn't say QB. He said player.
Player, period. There's no other player in the league that I'm taking over Drake May. It's just, anyways. But so, Anthony, appreciate. Good.
The Broncos are good. I'm not going to lie. The Broncos are good.
They're a good team, 100%.
I'm just not afraid of them. I've studied them. I've studied Bo Nix. They have a beast defense and a very game-managed system offense. And I think that, they have a great coach and a very serviceable game management type of quarterback, which is what they call Tom Brady in the early part of his career. So can Bo Nix win Super Bowls? Yes, I think that they can. Do I think Drake May is better? Yes, I do. Both things can be true.
Yeah, and Sean Payton is a great coach, but he's only won one Super Bowl, so I don't know. Could he get?
And he had a lot of chances. He had a lot
of chances with those with Drew Brees those years. But anyways, so yeah, Mike, what do you think? What do you think the score is going to be against these Dolphins?
I'm going
to quite as bad.
I'm going to go a good, healthy 30-10. I think Drake May is going to come out in the first half and throw a couple of touchdowns, or he might get us down to the end zone and then somebody pushes it through, whether it be Travion, who is off the concussion protocol. He should be ready to go. And Ramondre, one of those guys is going to push something through. And then in the second half, I think our guys are going to be pulled. And it's going to be garbage time again. And I think the Dolphins are going to collect a garbage touchdown and a garbage field goal. But like I said about the Jets game, the better team ends up showing who they are. So if we are truly one of the best teams in the league, then we should handle the Dolphins. If we don't, then that's another conversation that we'll have next week. But good teams step on the neck of bad teams. The Dolphins are a bad team. They have had a little bit of a resurgence, but it's for nothing. They're not playing for anything. So who the fuck really cares, to be honest with you? So I got it 30-10 solid all day long.
I like it. Yeah, I think I'm going to go a little higher. I'd really disrespect their defense, to be honest. So I'm going to go with 38. And I think on the defensive side of the ball, I think there will be a little more garbage time than we'd like.
There might be.
So I'm going to go 38 to, I'm going to say 14. I don't think they're going to be kicking many field goals, but I do think we're going to give up two touchdowns because they have some electric playmakers. And, whether it be a check down to they've been doing a lot of check downs to Jalen Wright, Achan. They got a few backs who can do it. A few speedy players I could see a special teams touchdown. There could be some sloppy stuff that happens late in the game. And maybe even early in the game. Who knows? It might be one of those, the slow start games where they come out and just score a touchdown, right? And we start out 7-0, and we're like, all right, cool. And then, Drake May scores 30 points, and then it's 30-7, and then, a late garbage touchdown, right? I just don't see them kicking field goals. Like, why? They're going to be down.
I just want to get through the game unscathed, to be honest with you.
I'm with you.
I just want to get through it with no friggin' injuries, for real.
100%. Jalen just said, do we think Vrabel keeps May in for the MVP race or rest starters if and when it gets out of hand?
I think it's both. I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think I just said it. I don't know if you were listening, Jalen, or not, but I just said that if they get out to a good jump in the first half, we get up like 14 or 21-0 or 21-3. Then in the second half, just like the Jets game, they'll put Drake May back in. And if he has a good drive, then they're going to pull him. And that's going to be the end of the story. So I think both things are also true on that one.
Anthony Garcia back for more. I think the Bills will get the Pats in the playoffs. I kind of agree with that. Bills, Broncos, AFC Championship, and it'll be an old school Broncos 49ers matchup. Wow.
Well, this guy just doesn't like he just doesn't like the Patriots. I wouldn't like the Patriots either if I was a Broncos fan. So he just doesn't.
We're going to be, hey, this is great, Anthony. I'm telling you, man, keep it up because we're going to be going. I feel like Mike and I were actually big fans of the Broncos coming into this year, saying this is going to be a big year for them. We actually projected them higher than us in the playoff seeding. But I think we're going to be having this conversation over the years. Anthony, we might even have you on the pod. I mean, it comes down to it. I think we're going to be playing. There's going to be a big rivalry over the next.
Yeah, we'll see how many followers he has, and then we'll figure it out.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I just want to have some fun. I want to talk football. And I do think the Broncos are one of those teams that'll be in those conversations for years to come.
Probably.
Sean Payton will be there. Bo Nix will be there for years. And they're drafting well. Their offensive line, their trenches are really great. So that team is set up for success, not just now, but for the future. So, yeah, I look forward to these matchups and these grudge matches. I would love to see the Broncos. I'd love to see any of these teams in the playoffs because this is when you see what teams are made out of, boys and girls. This is what you see what these guys are made out of because oh God, my kids are flipping out upstairs. Anyways, but yeah, no, to me, this is what right. You got the Dak Prescotts, you got even Josh Allen, right? All these quarterbacks that are great in the regular season. What are you made of in the postseason? Same thing with Drake May. We haven't seen it, right? We haven't seen what is he made of in the postseason. So let's see it.
I think the Broncos and the Pats are going to be butting heads for the next several years. Based on the head coach and the quarterback combination. You always look at it, okay? You look at the head coach and the quarterback first, and you look around the league and which teams are the best. I mean, normally it's the Chiefs, not now. Normally it's the Ravens, not right now. The 49ers, and then you got Seattle, Sam Darnold's coming into his own. There's several different examples. So if you have the right quarterback and the right coach in place, you can fill everything else around. And our team is not complete yet. This is year one.
Year one of the rebuild. Oh, I love it.
They haven't completed it yet.
This is what grounds me, Mike. When we get this Diggs and Barmore and all this drama, right?
We haven't even started. We haven't even really started.
Exactly. We're at season one here. We're at season, just like the podcast, right? We're at season one. We're building. The Patriots are going to build. We got 15.
But I still want the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. I don't care.
Oh, of course. Oh, I know. Everyone's thinking it. Don't say that. Say the quiet thing.
I want them to win
the quiet thing out loud.
Playoff game. Just
say the quiet thing out loud, Mike. I like
it.
You know what? That's to me. That's bigger than the Super Bowl to me. This year, if Drake May has like a masterclass in the playoffs, even just the first game, let's say it's the Bills, he puts on a masterclass against Josh Allen, and if they win or lose, you build on it, right? And this is like and I hope it's more than, but this is like the Lions, right? The Lions, when Dan Campbell came in, they had a decent season. Then they had a good season. Then they had a great season, right? Now they're kind of on the downside with Ben Johnson coming out and going to the Bears. But
that's what I'm afraid of. We have a great coaching staff. I think they're going to get poached after the season.
Doug Marrone scares me because he's done wonders for this offensive line. Josh McDaniels, I don't think we have to worry about. And then our defensive coordinator, this guy came out of nowhere. I've never even heard of him before.
Zach Kerr. He's not going to go anywhere, but you got Thomas Brown, who's the tight ends coach and the passing game coordinator. He might go. Todd Downing, who is the wide receiver coach. He's been an offensive coordinator around. He might go. There's a couple of guys that might go. But again, that's not something I'm worried about at all for the next
this year. Not right now. Yeah, not this year.
Not for the next several months. We have a good nucleus in place for this year. And I want the ride to last for as long as it can, because once they get eliminated, you and I are going to have to fill up our airtime with off-season nonsense. So I want the games to continue. So we have
plenty to talk about.
So we have substance
to talk about.
No, there always will be. Even in the offseason, there's always stuff to talk about.
Next week, guys, we got a big episode. So we got the playoffs coming. This is going to be post, obviously, the Dolphins game. But right before our week 1 matchup, because obviously we're not going to have the first round bye. That's at least that's my take on it. But we're going to have Savage, Scott from Savage Boston Sports, and we're going to have Hogdale from Barstool. So we're confirmed, locked in. I'm pretty sure next Wednesday night at 8:30. But I know that's when Hogdale records Dirty Water. So he's saying he's still probably going to be able to do it. But if we need to pivot to a Thursday night or a different night, we'll talk about it. But stay tuned next week, guys, because we're gonna have a banger episode for this playoff run. So I'm excited. I'm jacked up, all jacked up.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, boys. Well, LFG as always, and episode 40 is under wrap. Follow us on Twitter. We have our handles here. Follow us at LFG Pats Pod. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're kind of everywhere. Mike's working on a TikTok account a little bit.
Yeah, a little.
Mike's like a little bit, just a little
bit.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys and girls. And have a good night. And we will see you next week with Hogdale and Savage talking about the playoffs and hopefully a Dolphins win.
LFG.
All right, let's go, boys.
Let's go, Pats.